Choose your weather app. Go with the most accurate and most trusted, the Live Viper 6 mobile app. Download it today. Meteorologist John Lynn. Weather coverage you can count on. Weather headlines on News Channel 6. Brought to you by JD Casino Injury Attorneys.
Big time summer heat returns starting tomorrow. We'll make it into the mid-90s, climbing into those upper 90s by the middle of the week. We also have a heat advisory in effect for a few of our counties tomorrow. I'll have all those details coming up. Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, a former White House staffer speaks up about the classified documents case on former President Donald Trump. And USC Aiken students unpack for move-in day. Your News at 6 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Renetta Dubose, and thank you for joining us for News Channel 6 at 6. Coverage you can count on begins with former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows appearing to contradict former President Donald Trump's primary public defense in the classified documents case. Here's Selena Wang.
Former President Trump has insisted he declassified all the documents he took from the White House before he left office. But sources tell ABC News former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows told Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigators he had no idea Trump had brought classified documents with him to Mar-a-Lago, and said he could not recall Trump ever ordering the declassification of broad sets of classified materials before leaving the White House.
I think this reporting shows exactly why the Trump team fought to keep Meadows from testifying and undercuts one of Trump's main public arguments that he's been making, that he declassified all of these documents before he took them from the White House to Mar-a-Lago.
Sources say Meadows also told investigators that when those documents were first requested by the National Archives, he offered to help Trump go through the boxes, an offer the former president declined.
I don't have any knowledge of any broad-based directive from the president, but that doesn't mean it didn't occur. It's not something that I ever heard about.
A Trump campaign spokesman responded to the ABC News report accusing Special Counsel Jack Smith of selectively leaking incomplete information without providing evidence. Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to all charges in the case and denies any wrongdoing. But all this comes as the Republican presidential candidates prepare to take the debate stage on Wednesday. So far, the former president says he is not planning on attending. Selena Wang, ABC News, Washington.
In the latest indictment of former President Trump, he is expected to surrender at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia no earlier than Thursday this week. Senior law enforcement officials also say nothing is official yet. Trump was charged with racketeering and conspiracy, all connected to attempts to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. The sheriff has indicated he intends to treat these defendants like anyone else, so fingerprints and mugshots could be taken. And meteorologist Jennifer Tracci joining us now with the first look at the forecast. Another beautiful day, Jenna.
Yeah, we've had plenty of sunshine. It's definitely still been hot as well, but not as hot as it was last week. So I hope you enjoyed the slightly lower humidity for your Saturday and Sunday, because as we go into next week, we're heating right back up. But right now on Live Viper 6, notice we are seeing a few spotty showers, all due to a sea breeze coming in from the coastline. So this is all to the southeast of Augusta and Swainsboro, getting a few of those showers just outside of downtown. Also further towards the east, Barnwell, Bamberg, and Scrubbing counties dealing with some of that rain right along Highway 321 and Highway 278 to the south of Barnwell. But definitely not a lot of rain for us, not a drop on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over in downtown Augusta. It's been a dry and mostly sunny day with our temperatures in the low to mid 90s. 93 in Augusta right now, 91 in Allendale. Millen, you're at 92, Wrightsville at 94. 93 in Lincolnton. So as I mentioned, a little bit of lower humidity this weekend with dew points in the upper 60s in some spots. 69 in Thompson and Augusta, 68 in Aiken. When you factor that in, it is feeling like the upper 90s to around the 100s. 106 in Millen, so definitely hotter the further south you go. That's where dew points are more so in those low to mid 70s. We also have a southeast wind coming in with that sea breeze. That's causing some breezy conditions down south. 13-mile-per-hour winds now in Swainsboro. So there's a trough across our area, just a minor disturbance with those sea breeze fronts all the way down into Florida. But what we're keeping an eye on is this high pressure that's out in Colorado. That'll continue to track towards the east. It's being pushed this way due to Hurricane Hillary out towards California, which is actually now Tropical Storm Hillary, and it has just made landfall. Now for tomorrow, dangerous heat headed our way. There is a heat advisory in effect for Wilkes County down to Emmanuel, as that heat index will reach 106 degrees. I'll have all the details on your forecast this week coming up, but back to you, Renetta.
All right, Jenna, thanks. Coverage you can count on continues in Aiken as move-in day happens for students. Some say they finally began their new journey as college students. Bria Smith spoke with faculty and those who are getting their education soon.
Nearly 800 returning and new students have moved into Pacer crossings and commons this weekend at USC Aiken.
It was very smooth because they got little helpers and stuff, and it only took one trip, and I took everything in.
Director of University Housing Kevin Carr says it's a joy to see first-time college students excited for this chapter of their life.
We are just so excited to have the students back. For the last 2.5 weeks, we've been working for this day. We've been training our resident mentors, getting the buildings prepared with bulletin boards and banners and signs.
Since it's a time for parents to let their children become young adults and figure out their life's next steps, Carr says resident mentors are important.
They are upperclassmen students, sophomores to seniors, some of whom have been working for us for 3 years. So they are here to help create that sense of belonging, get students engaged and involved, because we believe that the first few weeks are vital.
Students will get the chance to experience the rest of the upcoming week with interactive activities.
We'll have a lot of events this week, culminating with our giant picnic on Wednesday.
Freshman Kaya Foster says she has pretty big goals academically, but she also plans on joining sports teams and other campus organizations.
So my career is to be a pharmacist, but I'm majoring in Bachelor of Science as of right now, and I also major in child care. I have my child care certification.
Students and staff are ready to make this a memorable school year on Pacer grounds. In Aiken, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
All right, Bria, thanks for that report. Students returned to 3 Richmond County schools after administrators closed them following a school shooting. All faculty and staff, along with students, go back to T.W. Josie High School, Murphy Middle School, and the Marion E. Barnes Career Center tomorrow. This comes after Richmond County Board of Education leaders shut the doors in order to keep kids safe after a shooting in the cafeteria last Wednesday morning at Josie. The leaders also moved Josie's football game to Savannah yesterday. The superintendent says there are no metal detectors, but there will be talks about safety moving forward. District Attorney Jared Williams is also speaking out about the violence.
The truth is that we need to wake up. Reacting to crime is not and has never been enough. It will not make us safer in the long run unless we invest in our kids and in our community as a whole. We have to make choices about how we as a community are going to join together and forget about who gets the credit or who takes the blame, but find solutions to help our kids.
Now, teachers return to work on Friday. The campaign called Together We Stand is all about neighbors helping neighbors. Tuesday on Jenny, they just finished the big Stuff the Bus school supply drive, and now it's on to the United Way of the CSRA's capital fundraising campaign kickoff. But do you really know what the United Way does? Brittany Burnett, the woman in charge, gives us a snapshot of the 4 core needs the United Way helps our community meet and the places where they fill in the gaps.
What does that funding go toward? So we recently kicked off our annual fundraising drive, and what I think is really important is most people, like you said, have heard of United Way, but they're not really sure what we do.
Right.
And so we really are always keeping our ear to the ground and our eyes open about the biggest needs and the biggest gaps in our community. So the funds that are given to United Way are helping fill those in 4 main areas of focus here in our community.
We'll learn more about how you can support the United Way of the CSRA, plus a look at a new app for pregnant and postpartum moms and the dangers of preeclampsia, especially for older moms. Tuesday at 12:30 on Jenny. And we've got some breaking news into the News Channel 6 newsroom. Burke County Sheriff's Office Road Patrol is on the scene at Highway 24, headed northbound on Highway 25 towards Burke County High School. Authorities say there was an accident with a cattle truck. Animal Control has been notified and is working the incident as well. Authorities want residents in the area to find an alternate route. Coming up, the heat ticking up to the high 90s. Your full forecast with Jenna when we come back. Stay with us.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Sunday evening. I hope you had a great weekend. We had a lot of sunshine, still some hot temperatures, but not as hot as it was early last week, so a little bit of relief, but no relief when it comes to any rain. We've been pretty dry. We're only seeing a few very spotty showers down in our southern counties due to a sea breeze coming in. So down in Swainsboro, a little bit of light rain right around town, and also over into Barnwell and Bamberg counties, a few isolated downpours here and there along Highway 278 and 321. Now it is looking a little cloudy on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over in Swainsboro, breezy as well. We're sitting at 93 degrees here in Augusta, still a sunny day with a dew point in the upper 60s, so it's not feeling as hot as it could. We're feeling more so like 99 instead of over 100, at least for north of I-20. Around the CSRA, we're in those low 90s and some spots in the mid 90s, such as Louisville at 95. But notice that heat index does increase the further south you go, feeling like 104 in Louisville, 102 in Wrightsville, 106 in Millen, and 104 in Bamberg. So those spotty showers really aren't giving them much relief. We just have the sea breeze across South Carolina, Georgia, and down in Florida. The rest of the southeast is nice and dry, and we're going to see this high pressure continue to build into our direction. That's being pushed this way due to Tropical Storm Hillary, which has just made landfall in Baja California, now bringing a lot of widespread rain all the way from central California down to LA, San Diego. Winds are at 60 miles per hour right now, so even though it's a tropical storm, this is still bringing a lot of rainfall, which is what they won't see typically in that part of the country, so definitely a very historic storm for them. Now, as I mentioned, that high pressure will continue to track towards the east. Temperatures could definitely reach over 100 degrees in some parts of the country. For us, I'm only expecting us to get up to 98 on Tuesday, but the heat index will be around 10 degrees hotter than that at 108. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a heat advisory in effect for our western counties tomorrow, reaching 106. Mostly sunny start to the day, more clouds moving in by the evening, 96 by the 5 o'clock hour. Now our lows tonight will be in the low 70s, and for tomorrow we'll top off in the mid to upper 90s. A very humid day, definitely above average. Your 10-day forecast showing the heat all this week. We will drop down to 93 on Thursday, but that won't last for long. Right back up to 96 for your Friday, 98 to start the weekend, and at that point we'll introduce around a 20 to 40% chance of rain, and we'll be right back.
Jing is out of bounds. Find adventure at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get 4.99% APR financing on the 2023 GX460.
Everybody has a Labor Day sale.
So why is Weinberger's any different?
Because we have tons of quality Weinberger furniture at low prices.
That's right. I bought a lot of extra inventory this summer, and it needs to go at any price.
We have store-wide markdowns on our huge selection in all 3 locations.
Get great quality, name brand furniture at huge discounts now through Labor Day.
Get the best prices on Weinberger's furniture this Labor Day, in stock and ready for delivery.
Your choice of chair color. Right now at Rooms to Go.
I wake to the daylight, it's my morning in Augusta. Love to see the smiling faces, and it's 3, 2, 1. Something about the morning makes you feel good now. You know that I love you. Good morning, Augusta. Something about the first light makes everything go right. Let's see where it takes us. Good morning, Augusta.
With rent and expenses.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
The Braves made history on Friday when they earned their 11,000th franchise win, and they look to keep it going headed into last night's Game 2 against the Giants. Second game of the series between San Fran and Atlanta, bottom of the 5th. Giants up 4-2. Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate. He crushes it to right field for the solo home run, and the Braves tied the game at 4-all with 4 innings to play. Bottom of the 8th, Braves down 5-4. Eddie Rosario at the dish. Runner on first. He rips it to right center field for the 2-run homer. And the Braves get the narrow victory 6-5. So that makes it 11,001. And today, the Braves look to keep that hot streak going and get the sweep over the Giants. Bottom of the second, Giants lead 1-0. Orlando Arcia at the plate. He crushes one to left field. It is a 2-run homer. That's his 14th home run of the season, and the Braves take the lead 2-1. Top of the third, same score. Runner on second for Wilmer Flores. He sends it deep to left field for a 2-run homer. Max Fried on the mound for Atlanta. That's his second game allowing multiple home runs this season, and it puts the Giants in front 3-2. Bottom of the eighth, same score. Matt Olson at the dish. Catcher Patrick Bailey tries to get Ronald Acuna Jr. out, stealing third, but a throwing error allows Acuna to score, and the Braves tie it at 3. And then in the top of the ninth inning, score still tied. Kirby Yates really struggling on the mound. First, Tyro Estrada hit by pitch. Then we'll see Wilmer Flores also hit by pitch. And finally, Jock Peterson draws ball 4 and walks on bases loaded. The Giants take a 4-3 lead as we head to the final frame. And finally, in the bottom of the ninth inning, same score, 2 outs, full count. Orlando Arcia at the plate. Camilo Doval gets Arcia swinging. The Giants win it 4-3 and avoid the sweep. And on the final day of the BMW Championship, a really big day in the race for the PGA Championship. Players have to be inside the top 30 of the FedEx Cup standings after this tournament. And that definitely won't be a problem for our winner, Victor Hovland, ranked 7th before his big win on Sunday. But let's go through this leaderboard. We have Hovland at the top, finishing 17 under, 2 strokes ahead of Scotty Scheffler and Matt Fitzpatrick. Then in 4th, we have Rory McIlroy, who finished at 12 under, and our local guy is former Bulldog Russell Henley. Now, his impressive final round of 7 under moved him up to 8th. So tonight on News Channel 6 at 11, I'll have highlights of the final round and show you exactly how Victor Hovland got the win at the 2023 BMW Championship. That does it for sports. Renetta, we'll send it back to you.
Kira, thanks. Coming up, why vacation time is more beneficial than you think. Those details after the break. Experts say taking a vacation can prolong your life. Studies show vacationing every year reduces an overall risk of death by 20% and heart disease by as much as 30%. That comes from less stress and better sleep, but Americans may struggle with planning some vacation time. 1 in 4 private sector workers do not get paid vacation days, and half do not use all of their paid time off.
Wow, be right back. I'm going to go book a vacation.
Yeah, we should all take one together, the whole weekend team.
I think the weekend team needs
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of vacations, you were just asking me what it would be like to be on a cruise ship right now if you're out in the Atlantic where we have all these tropical systems. And I told you it wouldn't be good because we've got a lot of action going on. We've got Tropical Storm Franklin in the Caribbean. We also got Tropical Depression 6 right by it. We also had Tropical Storm Emily just form a little while ago. And we have 2 other disturbances which could become our next depressions or tropical storms. So in addition to Tropical Storm Hillary out in California, we've got a very busy Atlantic basin as well. So I'm keeping my eye on all of that. In addition to our heat coming our way this week, it's going to be very hot and humid. 95 on Monday, 98 for your Tuesday. Remember, we have a heat advisory in effect tomorrow as well. 97 on Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, little to no rain. Over the weekend, we will see a 20 to 30% chance, but it will still be very hot as well. 98 for your Saturday, back to 93 on Sunday. It looks like next week we'll get a little bit of cooler temperatures, you could say, in the low 90s, but even that's still pretty hot.
And those hurricanes are why I don't want a vacation in those islands.
Yeah, it is not a good idea to plan cruise vacations around this time of the year, August, September. Not good. Yeah, very risky.
Good point. Thank you so much. That's our report for now. Thanks for watching. We will all be back at 11.
Good morning, America.
Big time heat returns this week with our highs climbing into the mid to upper 90s, and humidity is also on the rise as well, causing a heat advisory to be issued tomorrow. I'll have all the details on that and a look at your forecast for the week coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, USC Aiken students head back to school. We take you to move-in day. Plus, former President Donald Trump expected to surrender to Georgia law enforcement following charges for trying to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. And what's coming up this week on Jenny? Your news at 11 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Renetta Dubose, and thank you for joining us for News Channel 6 at 11. Coverage you can count on begins in Aiken as more students move into their dorms. Some say they finally begin their new journey as college students. Bria Smith spoke with faculty and students.
Nearly 800 returning and new students have moved into Pacer crossings and commons this weekend at USC Aiken.
It was very smooth because they got little helpers and stuff. And it only took one trip and I took everything in.
Director of University Housing Kevin Carr says it's a joy to see first-time college students excited for this chapter of their life.
We are just so excited to have the students back. For the last 2.5 weeks, we've been working for this day. We've been training our resident mentors, getting the buildings prepared with bulletin boards and banners and signs.
Since it's a time for parents to let their children become young adults and figure out their life's next steps, Carr says resident mentors are important.
They are upperclassmen students, sophomores to seniors, some of whom have been working for us for 3 years. So they are here to help create that sense of belonging, get students engaged and involved, because we believe that the first few weeks are vital.
Students will get the chance to experience the rest of the upcoming week with interactive activities.
We'll have a lot of events this week, culminating with our giant picnic on Wednesday.
Freshman Kaya Foster says she has pretty big goals academically, but she also plans on joining sports teams and other campus organizations.
So my career is to be a pharmacist, but I'm majoring in Bachelor of Science as of right now, and I also major in child care. I have my child care certification.
Students and staff are ready to make this a memorable school year on Pacer grounds. In Aiken, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Bria, thanks for that report. Now, students return to 3 Richmond County schools after administrators closed them following a school shooting. All faculty and staff, along with students, go back to T.W. Josie High School, Murphy Middle School, and the Marion E. Barnes Career Center tomorrow. This comes after the Richmond County Board of Education leaders shut the doors in order to keep kids safe after a shooting in Josie's cafeteria last Wednesday morning. Leaders also moved Josie's football game to Savannah yesterday. The superintendent says there are no metal detectors, but there will be talks about safety moving forward. District Attorney Jarrett Williams is also speaking out about the violence.
The truth is that we need to wake up. Reacting to crime is not and has never been enough. It will not make us safer in the long run unless we invest in our kids and in our community as a whole. We have to make choices about how we as a community are going to join together and forget about who gets the credit or who takes the blame, but find solutions to help our kids.
All 3 schools closed last Thursday, and teachers went back to work last Friday. Former President Donald Trump is expected to surrender at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia no earlier than Thursday this week. Senior law enforcement officials also say nothing is official yet. Trump was charged with racketeering and conspiracy, all connected to attempts to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. The sheriff has indicated he intends to treat these defendants like anyone else, so fingerprints and mugshots could be taken. A traffic crash closed a highway in Burke County tonight. A cattle truck crashed at Highway 24 heading northbound on Highway 25 towards Burke County High School. Animal control was called to the scene. Authorities say there were no injuries and the road will remain closed for another 2 hours. Meteorologist Jenna Petracci joining us now with first look at the forecast. Hey, Jenna.
Hey, Renetta. It was a pretty nice sunny weekend. No rain to worry about. Here's a live look at our time lapse over the last few hours over at SRP Park in North Augusta. You can see we have plenty of sunshine, but we did have some clouds moving in and out throughout the day, and a beautiful sunset with nice clear skies. So that's what we're seeing now. Really no clouds out there this evening. Today's high temperature was a couple degrees above average. We reached 94 degrees. Our low was a little cooler than normal, though, at 68, and that's been the case over the last few days. We've been in those upper 60s, so a little bit of some cooler and drier air, at least for the morning hours. Right now, though, definitely warm and muggy. We're sitting in those upper 70s to low 80s. 81 in Augusta, 80 in Thompson and Millen, 78 now in Sylvania. Wrightsville, you're at 81, 78 in Crawfordville, and 80 degrees exactly in Edgefield and Lincolnton. We have a big variety of dew points right now, anywhere from the upper 60s in our northern counties, 69 in Washington, 68 in Crawfordville. Sitting in those mid 70s, though, in Augusta at 74, 76 in Millen, and 77 in Allendale. So definitely very muggy the further towards the south you go, with some nice light winds right now coming in from the southeast. Clear skies on satellite and radar. Definitely not a single drop of rain to worry about. But we are watching a couple areas in the tropics. One of those down in the Gulf of Mexico, just to the west of Florida. This is at a 70% chance of development over the next 48 hours. Also, on the other opposite side of the country along the Pacific coast, we have Tropical Storm Hillary, which is bringing a lot of rainfall now across California. Now, that storm will cause high pressure to move towards the east, causing us to be under a heat dome over the next few days. So a heat advisory is in effect from Wilkes County down to Emmanuel tomorrow, as that heat index will be up to 106. And over the next few days, we'll see that triple-digit heat index as well. So temperatures on the rise along with the humidity, very little rain chances, and we have even more activity in the tropics than what I just went over. So I'll have all those details coming up, but back to you, Renetta.
All right, Jenna, thanks. People who live in, and we have the polling locations on our website, WJBF.com. Coming up, we are tracking Tropical Storm Hillary as it makes its way into Southern California, and we'll join Jenna for a look at your full forecast. Stay with us.
The Live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Sunday evening. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. It was pretty sunny and also very dry. We only had a few spotty showers in some of our southern counties today. Dry across Aiken and Augusta, and that's the case right now as well. Nice clear skies on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, with temperatures still in the low 80s, feeling like 86 when you factor in that dew point of 74, a south wind now of 6 miles per hour. We're seeing upper 70s from Washington down to Sparta, 80 degrees in Lincolnton down to Gibson, 77 in McCormick, 81 as well in Barnwell, 78 in Sylvania, and 80 degrees in Waynesboro. So clear skies for everyone, not seeing any rain across the two-state. But let's take a look at the tropics now. We are watching one area potential development down in the Gulf of Mexico. This is expected to track towards the west, nearing the coastline of Texas, and it will become our next tropical depression. As you can see, the chance of development is very high at 70%. Now, all the way on the other side of the country, along California's coast, we have Tropical Storm Hillary. This made landfall earlier today in northern Baja California, and it is starting to weaken more and more as it goes over land. So the worst of the impacts are occurring now, with widespread heavy rain and gusty winds across Southern California, with already around 2 to 4 inches of rainfall and more to come the rest of tonight and early tomorrow. Now look at what's happening out in the Atlantic Basin. We have a lot to keep an eye on. First, starting out with that area we were just looking at a 70% chance. Then down towards the southwest or southeast of that, we have Tropical Storm Franklin to the south of Puerto Rico, Tropical Depression 6 just to the east of that, Tropical Storm Emily out in the Atlantic, and then a wave off the coast of Africa at a 70% chance of development. So very busy activity over in the tropics, but no impacts expected to the United States over the next several days. But what we are going to see here is the hot temperatures along with the humidity. That's due to a dome of high pressure building in across the southeast. That's moving in our direction because of Tropical Storm Hillary. It's going to push that high in our direction, bringing the hot temperatures and the heat index well into the triple digits. Tuesday will be our hottest day, high of 98 degrees up to 108. And reminder that we do have that heat advisory tomorrow as well for our western counties. So mostly sunny tomorrow, 83 by the 10 o'clock hour, 93 by 3 p.m. Our lows tonight will be in the low 70s, a nice, mostly clear night, and our highs tomorrow will be in the mid-90s, definitely above average. Your 10-day forecast showing partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies over the next few days. We're heating up into the mid to upper 90s, going back down to 93 on Thursday, and then 98 again by Saturday, bringing in the chance of rain. But as you can see over the next few days, no rain in the forecast. Definitely a different situation than what we were just talking about over in the Pacific coast, where Tropical Storm Hillary is bringing all that rainfall. Now back to you, Renetta.
All right, Jenna, thanks. And as you just stated earlier, Tropical Storm Hillary impacts the Southwest. Both California and Nevada are under states of emergency tonight. Forecasters warn of the potential for catastrophic flooding. The storm has already caused one death in Mexico. Alex Stone reports.
More than 42 million Americans under tropical storm warnings as Hillary moves north. The heavy rainfall causing flooding in many areas.
Stay safe, stay informed, and stay home. The worst of the rains is potentially left to come.
The storm made landfall in Baja California, Mexico on Sunday. Video shows flooded streets, the water moving swiftly through the town of Santa Rosalia, Mexico. In Los Angeles, several lanes of the 101 freeway near Sherman Oaks flooded.
Some people, like this truck driver, even taking chances and just roaming right through the floodwaters.
The slick roads making driving very dangerous, leading to crashes. Ahead of the storm, authorities urged people on Catalina Island to evacuate. Multiple flash flood warnings in effect across the area. Continues to come down here in Cathedral City. These tropical rains in these desert towns just don't match. ABC's Zareen Shaw is nearby in Palm Springs, where they're also seeing flooding tonight.
The soil here in Palm Springs and the desert Southwest does not absorb water very well. So extreme rainfall events like this, dangerous flash flooding can develop even faster, sending massive amounts of rain and debris flowing.
Many people got ready, filling sandbags and stocking up on supplies.
Hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
Crews have built large sand berms along the beach to protect the coast from massive waves, though some people are hoping to take advantage of the high surf. And then in the midst of the storm, these lights swaying as Los Angeles was hit by a 5.1 magnitude earthquake.
Chief, I'm really sorry to interrupt you right now. Our studio is shaking right now, so not only are we dealing with a tropical storm, but it appears we're now dealing with an earthquake.
This is the first time we've had a magnitude 5 since 1932. In exactly this location.
There were no reports of any damage or injuries from the quake, and experts say it was not related to the severe weather. Alex Stone, ABC News, in Los Angeles.
Coming up, Maui's fire chief is speaking up on the events of the deadly wildfires. Those details when we come back.
After an accident,
WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service.
In Maui, recovery is underway, and the president is on his way to the island 2 weeks after those deadly and historic wildfires. Now Maui's fire chief is speaking up on the events. Here's Melissa Adan.
Tonight, President Biden just hours from landing here on Maui. The official death toll 114. A church service today for those lost and the hundreds still unaccounted for. Maui Fire Chief Brad Ventura in his first national interview since the fires, getting emotional when talking about the firefighters under his command.
The firefighters are hurting. This is their community, this is their home, these are their people. Nobody in our department is not affected by this. We care about our firefighters first and our community as well. And if they can't go to work in a healthy way, then it's difficult for them to serve.
First responders facing scrutiny after some ran out of water fighting the fires. Does it frustrate you to think, knowing what they were going through, that they may not have been able to have water, they needed help?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you need water. That resource is so precious to us. So when they were running out, they were so disheartened. And I felt for them because that is their lifeline to helping the community and getting out of there safely.
Firefighters pushing into the flames despite more than a dozen losing their own homes. FEMA says that everyone displaced by the fires will be moved out of shelters and into hotels, motels, and other temporary accommodations by the end of the week. Tonight, those on the ground here awaiting the arrival of President Biden tomorrow. He has promised federal support for as long as it takes. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Lahaina.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Sunday was a big day for the Green Jackets as they looked to earn just their second win in their 6-game series against the Fredericksburg Nationals. Augusta struggled on offense, but their defense kept them in it through the 6th inning. Trailing just 2-0, it looked like the Green Jackets could battle back, but the Nationals put up 5 runs will now return to SRP Park to take on the Charleston River Dogs for a 6-game series that starts on Tuesday. Over in the MLB, the Braves look to keep their hot streak going and get a sweep over the Giants. Bottom of the second, Giants lead 1-0. Orlando Arcia at the plate. Arcia crushes one to left field. It's a 2-run homer, and that's his 14th home run of the season. It puts the Braves up 2-1. Then in the top of the third, same score, runner on second for Wilmer Flores. He sends it deep to left field for a 2-run homer. Max Fried on the mound for Atlanta. That's his second game allowing multiple home runs this season, and it puts the Giants in front 3-2. Bottom of the eighth, Matt Olson at the dish. Catcher Patrick Bailey tries to get Ronald Acuna Jr. out stealing third, but a throwing error allows Acuna to come home, and the Braves tie it at 3. Then in the top of the ninth inning, score still tied. Kirby Yates really struggling on the mound. First, Tyro Estrada hit by pitch. Then we'll see Wilmer Flores also hit by a pitch. And finally, Jock Peterson draws ball 4 and walks on bases loaded. The Giants take a 4-3 lead as we head to the final frame. Then in the bottom of the ninth inning, same score, 2 outs, full count. Orlando Arcia at the plate. Camilo Doval gets Arcia swinging, and the Giants win it 4-3 as they avoid the sweep. Round 4 of the BMW Championship, Victor Hovland sitting 4 shots back entering the back 9. On the 10th, second shot from 127 yards out. Hovland gets a friendly bounce as the shot lays up 3 feet from the hole. He would make the birdie putt and move to 11 under. He would then birdie 11, 12, and 14 as well as he climbed atop the leaderboard into a tie for first. And the guy he was tied with, Scotty Scheffler, there he is, sinking his birdie putt on 12 to take a 1-shot lead at 15 under. Then on 13, birdie putt for Scheffler. 24 feet out, he lines it up perfectly and sinks it. Scheffler with a 2-shot lead. Hovland still 14 under. His third shot on 15 from just outside the greenside bunker. He almost sinks the shot. Ball settles 8 feet away from the hole. He'll sink the birdie putt and move to 15 under. On the 17th hole, birdie putt for Hovland from just under 9 feet away. He sinks it, and now Hovland ties Scheffler for the lead at 16 under. Then on 18, Hovland gets a couple of great bounces and lands the shot under 7 feet from the hole. His ensuing birdie putt will be perfect, and he'll manage to take the clubhouse lead at 17 under. Hovland shot a 61, a new course record at Olympia Fields, and he shot 7 under on the back 9 to come back and take the lead. He still cannot believe it, and now it will be up to Scotty Scheffler. Here he is putting on 17 to save par. His putt from 4 feet 6 inches rolls beyond the hole. Scheffler with bogey 17, and then go on to par 18. Hovland all smiles in the clubhouse as he wins the BMW Championship. After his big win, Hovland did talk to the media about how confident he felt in his game, and he mentioned when he knew he was playing with a different intensity.
It felt like, is this going to be one of those days like the other days where I've got off to a nice start and kind of just played okay and shot 68 or 67 or 66, which, it's a nice score, but after making that turn, stuffed it on 10, hit it close on 11, stuffed it on 12, and that's when I kind of felt like I hit the groove a little bit.
Hovland made 7 birdies on the back 9 to secure the win by 2 strokes. His 9 under 61 on Sunday was not only a course record, but also a new career low round score for the 25-year-old champion. A big congratulations to Victor Hovland, the winner of the 2023 BMW Championship. We'll be right back.
For everyone.
We're almost there. The official opening date of Tiana's Palace restaurant in Disneyland is set to open September 7th. The restaurant's opening marks the next steps in Disneyland's efforts to bring more of Princess Tiana's stories to life in New Orleans Square. Tiana's Palace will be surrounded by the colors of Mardi Gras and will feature a menu aimed at honoring the flavors and flair of New Orleans.
Very, very cool.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that looks nice.
Yeah. Pretty.
Well, our forecast looks pretty nice when it comes to the sunshine. However, it will be very hot and humid. 95 tomorrow, up to 98 on Tuesday. We also have a heat advisory in effect tomorrow as the heat index will be around 105 to 110 degrees. That will be the case all week long. And then even over the weekend, still up to 98 on Saturday. But at that point, we'll have a 20 to 30% chance of rain.
Autumn, are we almost there?
Nope, not even close.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everybody, and we will be back next week.